Hello students, in my previous video I stopped in question number 11 and now I will discuss question number 12. How did the narrator manage to survive through the attacks of subsequent waves? Not only the narrator but how his family members along with the two crewmen, how they survived. One of the waves threw the ship upright. The narrator was able to reach its main control room. We call it navigation room also. Subsequent waves tossed him around the deck like a tattered ragdoll from one end to another. When I explained also, I talked about this, that like a tattered or a torn ragdoll, the narrator went on moving from one end to the other. His left ribs cracked. His mouth was filled with blood and broken teeth. Somehow he found the wheel, lined up the stem for the next wave, and remained firm and waited for the next wave to plunge overboard the wave walker. How did the narrator and the other members react to the presence of water in the ship? How did the other members in wave walker, apart from the narrator, how they react to this particular emergency situation? The narrator could not leave the wheel to examine the damaged parts. Mary, his wife, shouted that the decks were broken and they were all sinking. Larry and Herb, remember I talked about these two crewmen, were pumping out water like madmen. This particular term that I discussed right now, pumping out water like madmen, it is already written. Sue had a big bump over her eyes, but the children said they were all right. Now Sue got injured. There was bulging over her eyes, but the children, they supported the other elderly family members. The children supported their father and they told their father that they were all right. I am moving on to question number 14. Here I quote, I had no time to worry about bumped heads, says the narrator. What problems do you think deserved his immediate attention? The starboard side had been stuck open and water was gushing in. Gushing in the sense that the water was flowing inside. There was leakage also, and the cardboard covering, those coverings were dismantled, were destroyed also. They were taking in more water with every wave breaking over them. If he did not make some repairs urgently, they would sink. The narrator managed to cover the gaping holes with canvas and waterproof hatch covers. Now the narrator desperately tried to manage to fill up the gaping holes by using or applying waterproof hatch covers. I am moving on now to question number 15. What problems did the narrator face during the night of 2nd January 1977? The hand pump started to block up. Block means to restrict up with the debris. Debris means the waste products floating around the cabins. Not only that, the miscellaneous things that was inside the boat, the crockery, the wardrobe section, the clothes inside the wardrobe section, all those came out. The electric pump short circuited. The water level rose threateningly. And now, since the electric pump short circuited, they had to manually drain out or release out the excess amount of water. The water level rose alarmingly. That is the other meaning of the word threateningly. The two spare hand pumps had been wrenched overboard. Wrenched means they were also dismantled. The waves had also carried away the forestay-sail, the jib, the dinges, and the main anchor from the deck. Now the other miscellaneous things that are very much essential navigation related tools or navigation tools, those things were also been carried away by the gushing flow of water, and it is very hard to find out those things. Now, dear students, I am moving on to question number 16. How did the narrator react to the problems and what does it reveal? The narrator did not lose his calm or courage in the face of problems. Now, not only it shows the real determination of the narrator, but it also shows courage, determination of his family members as well as the little children as well as the two crewmen. They showed their endurance, their courage, and finally they overcame this natural apocalyptic disaster. So I continue. The narrator did not lose his calm or courage in the face of problems. He thought calmly. Then he remembered that they had another electric pump under the chart room floor. That is the substitute one. Thankfully, it was working perfectly. He found it in working order. Just now I told you all about this. They were not getting any reply to the distress radio calls. Hello, Mayday, Mayday, it was actually been written. So, in your text, now the radio signals, these things were also disrupted and they were stranded. Mark the word that I used, dear students, stranded. stranded. They were totally marooned, they were isolated, they were stranded in the one of the remotest corner of the world. And from there, it is very hard to get a radio signal also. So I repeat the line, they were not getting any reply to their distress radio signals. He was not surprised as they were in a remote corner of the world. I already told you all regarding this. He was not surprised because rationally when he thought, he understood that he, along with his family members, along with his crew members also, they were all stranded in one of the remotest corner of the world. I am moving on to my next question. Question number 17. I didn't want to worry you when you were trying to save us all, quote unquote, said Sue. Sue was the name of the daughter. Her full name was Suzanne. What has happened to her? Sue's head had a bump. Later, as you all know, because I already discussed the chapter, later when they reached that island Ile Amsterdam, where 28 inhabitants welcomed them, it was a French scientific base. Their operation was done and the excess blood clotting was removed from her head. So that we will discuss later also, but you know about it. So when I am discussing side by side some of the incidents related with the question, I will also discuss in the answer part. If it is not written also, side by side I will provide some info also. So let's continue. Sue's head had a bump. It had swollen alarmingly. She had two enormous black eyes. She also had a deep cut on her arm. She was very much injured because the two children, Jonathan and Sue or Suzanne, they used to sleep over a bunk, upper bunk, lower bunk. Probably Sue was in the upper bunk, so she got the maximum injury in respect to Jonathan, because whether Jonathan received an injury or not, it is not been explicitly written in the text. So let me continue. She did not bother her daddy about her injuries as he was busy in more important tasks. So this speaks high of Sue's character. She had strength in her character. Though she was a little girl, she had enough strength in her character and she morally boosted her father a lot. Now I am moving on to question number 18. Why do you think the narrator searched for an island so eagerly? Because the main important thing is that they thought of moving to Australia, but with the condition of the wave worker about to be capsized, it was not possible for them to move to Australia. So they decided to finally search for pinpricks in the vast ocean. And pinpricks here means small islands. So finally they found on the navigation chart and also by doing some calculation that Ile Amsterdam is the perfect island for them to embark. So I continue. The wave hit wave walker had caused extensive damage, enormous damage, or we can say extensive damage. Nearly all the boat's main frames had been smashed or dismantled down to the nil. A whole section of the starboard hull was being held up by a few cardboard partitions, but we know it very well, even the narrator also knew it, that these are temporary solace or temporary guard, because ultimately with the gushing of the flow of water, these cardboard boxes also will be destroyed. Wave worker could not hold together long enough for them to reach Australia, so they changed their plan and they decided to move on to Ile Amsterdam. So he searched for an island to repair the boat, and the best one is Ile Amsterdam. I am moving on to question number 19 now. Why could they not set any sail on the main mast on 4th January? What was the main reason? The hull of the ship had been damaged badly. Pressure on the rope supporting the mast and sails would simply pull the damaged section of the hull apart. So it was a bit risky also. So they hosted the storm jib and headed towards the island. So that is the reason when they reached Ile Amsterdam, the narrator posed a big sigh of relief, because now he is in a safe place and finally he can feel the presence of land beneath his feet. That was the main important thing. Now I am moving on to the next question. Question number 20. How did little Jonathan react to the desperate situation they found themselves on 5th January? How did the son Jonathan react? So let us continue with the answer. Jonathan asked his daddy if they were going to die. The narrator tried to ensure him that he would overcome the situation. Then little John declared bravely that he was not afraid of death, provided that they could all be together. So that actually raised the confidence and raised the high spirit of the narrator. He decided at that moment that he would face this fury of nature along with the other family members with enough courage, because ultimately the motivating factor for boosting up the confidence of the narrator were done by his two children. So he was ever grateful and thankful to others, but most importantly, last but not the least, he was very much thankful to his two children also. I repeat, the little John declared bravely that he was not afraid of death, provided they could all be together, and that actually helped in boosting the morale of the narrator along with the other people on board, particularly the crew members along with his wife Mary. And finally they overcame the fury of nature, that the raging sea storm along with the gigantic wave. Despite their wave walker was damaged, still they overcame the problem and they saved themselves from the jaws of death. I discussed up to question number 20 in this video. In my next video, I will discuss from question number 21. So dear students, whatever info I provided, listen to it, and any doubts, do clarify. Thank you.